G'day and welcome to Writing Corner, episode 10. And I'm your host, the author, David Applegate, author of the book, The Boyhood of Cade, book 1 of the Empire of Elves. And of course, don't forget, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And links are all in the description below. If you want to support the channel, there's Patreon, PayPal, buy me a coffee. Of course, you can follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter. And of course, I look forward to your feedback in the comments below. Now, thanks to everybody who tuned in last week. I noticed most people tune in later through the week. That's fine. I don't mind. I do prefer a live audience. Yes, I like to chat to my live audience. Shout out to Jonathan. Miss you, buddy. Where are you at? Well, it's the end of the month, so new content. Spent the month preparing new content, and of course, spent last week going over everything. Last minute edits, and of course, Monday I read it, and I went, "Wait a minute! I'm sure I fixed these errors. They were small, but I'm noticing that it's the small errors people pick up on, not the big ones. They notice a comma out of place, and they really let you know. They really, it's really bothering people, and I'm really trying. So I get your feedback. I'm really trying to edit and do my best, with the spelling, the grammar. But come on, people, I don't use American English, so lighten up, will you? But all kidding aside, I am Monday editing, commas, word variety, consistency, which is weird because, like, you got word variety and then consistency, and it's like, and clarity. And if you're wondering, these are reports from Grammarly, and so I'm putting it all together, checking all the pronouns, checking all the uses they, them, which, and whether. And of course, style, trying to at least try to give characters a style. It's just sometimes not working. I'm working on that. I'm trying to really narrow down the personalities, make sure I'm consistent with the personalities. So that was Monday, bleeds over into Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm halfway through, and I swore I fixed this. So I'm fixing the middle conversation between Cade and Toshiko, and they're talking about demons, and I'm like, oh my God. What happened? I must have, but I don't know what I did. I must have touched a touchpad or something. It's like, yesterday there's a whole big section here. It's gone. So I go back, and for some reason I couldn't recall the previous edits, document version. So I'm really, hitting undo, and I'm going back through it, and eventually goes all the way back, and it's like, oh my God. So it pops up, I copy it, and then I'm sitting pressing redo like 100 times before I get all the way back. And so somewhere in my edits, fortunately the document hadn't saved. That's why it wasn't in previous incarnations. And fortunately, what I could do is I could keep the copy of my document intact and go through on my phone the different iterations on my OneDrive. And lo and behold, call it up, copy and paste. And then, of course, I'm still doing editing on Thursday, and I'm going, oh, no, I don't want to crunch. And so, yeah, I spent all of Friday and halfway through the day, I finally get to 0 spelling errors, 0 grammar, and of course, the last part, variety, consistency. Do you want to use larger or more significant and stuff like that? No, it's this word variety versus consistency is starting to really cheese me. Where on one hand, the spelling they want you to use large is such a cliche. Use more significant. Then you turn around and says this word's overused. This word's overused, and it becomes a circle. So I just go back through. Can that suggestion? Don't suggest again. No matter seems how many times I ignore formality, ignore pronouns. It's trying to get me to, whether it's Microsoft Editor, Grammarly, and all the others, they're all trying to get me to get rid of pronouns. And it's like, stop it, stop it, stop it. It's like every other day while I'm editing, I'm just trying to. So eventually, Friday, I'm halfway through. Lo and behold, what happens? I'm sitting there, and it's like, why am I getting suddenly all these error reports? What I realized, and fortunately in time, I took and I copied and pasted about 5 or 6 paragraphs at a time and went through them. Now, what's happening is it's multi-threading. So the bigger the document, the more it's trying to, you can watch it as you do it. You get a 10,000 word document, put it in there, and you'll watch. It will backwards and forwards. And you'll get lots and lots of errors all the time. Doesn't matter how good it is. And then until it goes, oh, yeah. It's like, so the more you edit, the more Grammarly learns your style, and the less it starts picking on, oh, you spelt this wrong. Oh, wait, it starts to pick up on your language, the variations between English, although it seems to try to implement Chicago rules all the time, but Microsoft is Oxford rules, and so is, I think, and to some extent, so is ProWritingAid and many others. So I'm not sure. And somebody suggested the other day I go to Hemingway, but I'm halfway through my subscription, and I've got a really good deal on my subscription. So don't know if I want to give it up to buy another. But if I can't edit the document and I keep pissing people off, I'm going to have to, I can't afford, unless you guys are paying me thousands of dollars a month, I'm not going to afford an editor who costs thousands of dollars a month. Don't believe me? Look at the charges. The cheapest I've been offered. And here, look at the complaints of my first book. I paid 10 grand to have that edited. And people are going to say, what? You got overcharged. Yeah, I did. All right. I made a mistake. So, and I didn't get a professionally edited document back. What I got was a bunch of suggestions to change and change dialogue, change some words. But ultimately, I still have people, even today, pointing out errors. Thank you very much. Yes. All right. I'm not perfect. Woohoo! Isn't it amazing? The video game crowd will put up with so many errors in a game. The other day, a I saw somebody misspell Ukraine, and you think with all the news about Ukraine, nobody would misspell Ukraine, and they were a school teacher. So lay off, please, please, please lay off. I'm not a school teacher. I understand. I understand. There are people who a comma, a word out of place, a word they don't like. But really, I don't know what it is. Why is there so many people triggered? Why do I have to use cliches because you don't like the word penis? There, I said it. You happy now? Actually, I forgot who went off about the word penis. And well, they're still around, so they're somewhat a friend. Just because they're friends, it doesn't. I don't ram my book down my friends' throats, by the way. I don't twist their arms. I don't ask. I mean, someone has bought my book, I know, and discussed it with them, but I don't know if they bought book 2 or 3 or whatever. But some people have asked about the audiobook. I have a general audiobook on Google, by the way. It is on Google Play. I know you want it on Audible. Again, are you going to do a GoFundMe for several $1,000s for a publishing package on Audible? And I don't know how people have these special deals where they charge you $9.99 for the Kindle and you get the Audible for free, or some sell their Kindle version for $5.99 and you pay $2.34 for the audiobook, yet the audiobook is listed at $0. And yet when you go to the audio, click on the audiobook, it moves back around. I don't know what's going on there, but people are buying publishing deals now in the tens of thousands of dollars, and I don't get it. And people will say, Dave, you're a successful author, you should be able to afford that. One, and I hate admitting that I'm not a successful author. Come on. I'm not going to lie about that. It sort of does come across as, it's the sort of thing, this is why most people don't want to talk about it. But some people, a book sale is, is more important to them than the money. And yes, they are spending tens of thousands on these packaging deals. I did it with my first book. And it was a walk away. After several years, I walked away from them. There's no way I could sue them for the money. No way I could do them for false advertising. Lawyers aren't interested. I don't know what's going wrong. There's just so much corruption in the publishing industry. It is pissing me off. But there we have it. And I've spoken to many writing associations. And you know what their response is? Join our association. So they're just a protection. So if it's just the world's full of starting to get into gatekeepers and protection rackets. Whether you're in YouTube, which don't bother with the YouTube union or all these other things that are going on out there. It's all drama. Just to you think I'm going to really get 400,000 subscribers at a publishing deal? Oh, we'd love to give you a publishing deal, but you got to show us popularity. Here's your target number. Like, wow, really? But that's it. That's the way it is. I might as well just publish to the few. I might as well just publish to the few patrons I have, and speak to the few audience members who tune in each week. I'm getting more satisfaction out of it. When I had a publishing deal, I had no idea what book sales I got. I never got monthly reports. I complained to all these associations and whatever. They never get back to you. Oh, sorry, one did. The California DA. Sorry, the junior assistant to Kamala Harris at the time. It was the DA. Sorry. Yeah. The office formerly held by Kamala Harris. Long time ago. Sorry. He was formerly Kamala Harris's assistant some time ago, and he's still a junior to the DA. That's right. And no, despite the numerous complaints, we cannot take legal action. It's a civil matter. False advertising. So what's going on? They'll take it. So back to my week. On top of editing, of course, just coming up with new material as well. Coming into a new month, new material. I didn't really get to start anything new, which means hopefully this. I don't want to pressure myself. I know I could usually do more than one chapter, but right now I've buttered right up, and I don't want to fall behind. But them's the breaks. Sometimes you get a good flow, sometimes you don't. It's a real test of the patience of the audience. I'd hate to be doing. See, the thing is, I could cheat you guys and do a 3,500 word chapter. Apparently, that's the new buzz. That's the new target. I could do probably 2 of those a month. I can run about 10,000 words a month, maybe more, sometimes more. Yeah, about 15,000 if I really push. Well, I don't have anything going on. Unfortunately, sometimes I do. So it depends how much editing I have to do. But Friday, halfway through, this is what I discovered. You take your editing in chunks. You do 3 paragraphs. You make sure your paragraphs are varied, 3 to 5, 5 to 7, 3 to 5. Take those in a chunk, put them into your Grammarly, and you actually, instead of getting backwards and forwards of multi-threading, it actually goes line by line, checking, and you'll see it correcting itself. It'll go bad, and good. But that's in the initial stages. After a while of doing this, it'll eventually stop showing you suggestions that you previously, stop saying, stop using larger, stop using vast, stop using big, stop using small, stop. It doesn't, at first it doesn't like you using size comparisons by just using big, large, small, enormous. Now, I have read, and this is one of the things I've fallen back on behind is I have read a few books for people, reviews. This is beta. I've got one now for review, which I'm doing, and that's where I slept. But I noticed with Grammarly that eventually it stopped doing size comparisons. Now, the thing is, they want fiction writing, it seems they want, he's as big as a house. Well, that's no size comparison. Big as a car, that's no size comparison. Is it a compact, a sedan, an SUV, a 4-wheel drive, I want to offer you a promotion of your channel view, blah, 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 Twitch bot. Oh, man. See, I rarely see a Twitch bot. I rate that low. But I enjoy the audience I have, even though most of the time you don't comment, don't let me know you're there. Sometimes you do on Facebook, so be it. But anyway, Whoops. Another notification. All right. This time it is on Facebook. Oh, a like. Thank you for liking my video link on Facebook. Oh, sorry. 4. Shana and 4 others have liked my link. Thank you. 5 likes on my link. Hello, Harry. I'm interested. Yes, thank you, Harry, for the like. So be it. Of course, part of the problem with promoting is my time zone doesn't match your time zone. So if I put a time up, unfortunately, half the time, people don't get it because it's not the same time as their time. And for some reason, often you don't get, well, YouTube does. For some reason, it's hard to do a promotion because they want to know what time you go live, and some people don't see the notice time zones. So that's just the way it is, I guess. So yeah, with editing, I found doing 3 to 5 chapters, not chapters, paragraphs at a time, speeds it up. So don't forget, your grammar and spelling check are actually, most people probably know this, but a lot of them use the internet now. They don't have, well, you can buy offline packages that come on a desk and do the spin up and check everything. But a lot of them, actually, a lot of people I heard, they put theirs in the chat GDP, and the not many who admit to that at the moment, but there are people who have admitted to that. And some, they say they're using Bing to do a spelling, grammar check. A lot of tools out there that the media have access to are slowly filtering down. There's depends what you're writing for. If you're doing scripts, there's dozen script editing programs now which do cast, track location, track how many people you're going to put in each search. So you got location, scene numbers, all that thing. Pretty much does all the layout, track the cast. So when you start a new line, you just say, right, who's the cast member? Who's boink, boink, boink. And it all tracks any emotions, any lighting, any notes you want to make, any action. Now, I heard that a lot of scripts are actually short. And I don't know if this is true or not. But of course, it depends who they're writing for, what they're writing for, whether, but I mean, movie, they seem to think that 60 to 80 pages is long, and it's like, no, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that would be normal, but I don't know. It depends. I think they're, and I actually do see this a lot. A lot of movies these days do tend to be lighter and lighter on dialogue. I don't notice this trend in books so much, but I have read some which are light on dialogue. So I don't know what's going on. Do you think it's a trend, or you just think? I mean, I hate the cliche, but And I hate when people talk about exposition. I mean, how else are you going to learn what's going on? You expect every scene, everything to be written out in one big, huge scene, which you won't read, or a couple of lines of exposition of dialogue, which you will hear, which you will pay more attention to. This is where styles and I think when it comes down to likability of the character, I know in some books there are pages where there are 3 to 4 pages of a scene, and others where, and the problem is they keep, some scenes they keep stretching with dialogue. So I don't know. There's no action. Ooh, action-packed adventure. Fine. 90% dialogue. Wow. Thank you. I'll sit back. If I want to read about a dogfight, not the pilots calling out to each other as they get shot down. Why? Why? By the way, it was the I'm referring to the Pacific War, the pilots, true accounts. But man, again, how do they put 300 planes in the air from 2 aircraft carriers again? I don't really believe that. There seems to be, I don't know. Unless they counted both sides. Even then, it's still. Seems to be like 6 carriers, although that's possible too. 3 on each side. That sounds about right for the Pacific Fleet. Plus the fact they carried they carried half their planes on the deck. But yeah, getting off track, aren't I? Editing and my week. So I spent most of my week editing. Now I've got to plan the next chapter. Well, I have some idea what's going on as I write. I have some idea what's going on, making notes. Hopefully, I'll get that written up. And was it my chapter 14? So it looks like I won't. Looks like I'll go past my planned 15 chapters, but not by much. Probably 17, 18. Be a bit long, I think. Depends, but each chapter's long. Each is somewhat a contained mini story, so it's not like sure, I could have cheated and cut each one in half. Depends. Let's see what the I haven't had much feedback, but what I've had is so far so good. So I value your support. Thanks to all the patrons. Which I mean, it's hard. I know how hard it is out there for others. I've been asked that question too. It's hard. It's hard to get attention. It's hard to get consistent patrons. It's just going to get harder. All I can say is it's not the stress that kills you. It's how you deal with it. It's pain now or pain later. And the pain pill you have to swallow is you have more chances of winning lottery than of getting a book deal. I'm sorry. hey, I've met people who've got a book deal and I'm happy for them. They're not exactly rolling in dough either. So don't think it's all sunshine and roses for those who do get a book deal. But I'm grateful for the people I've met, the people who've given me advice, and I hope some of it rubs off and to my audience who, of course, I know are mostly writers or interested parties. Writing, this is my journey, and this is my coping mechanism. But I love the feedback. I love talking to people. I don't want to take too long each day. I talk to a few people each day, and hopefully I learn more. Take the time to try and think of the who, what, where, whens, and whys. As I'm editing, I'm always looking for what's missing. You've got to remember, you know what you mean. When you're editing, this is why beta readers are so good. So they can come back and say, who is doing what? They know who is doing what to whom. The why, the how is a bit light, and the why is a bit vague. Oh, I guess it's also experience. And a lot of writers, there's two ways to get experience. That is, you read works of those with great, you read works by those you know and admire, and of course, you try to write in your own style and write what you know, because that way you don't have to constantly look back, and you don't lose track of your own work, and you don't lose track of your own characters, and because basically, and you see this, you know in yourself, you know in the hearts of hearts, there are romance, mysteries, detective novels, murder mysteries, serial killers. They're the front page news. And it's up to you. Are you going to be authentic, or are you going to pander? Of course, now and again, a fantasy book will take off, mostly pandering to children or a particular audience. Some fly high, but few and far between. Same with science fiction. You look at the works over the last 20 years, mostly derivative of what's come before. Mostly. Originality, I try every day as I'm editing to be original, to be consistent, to be factual, to be, and if it's something fantastical, to at least make sense. I try to avoid MacGuffins. The stolen spellbook, the murder plots. A peaceful civilization isn't going to have people. You think about your own government after you really, it rarely happens these days. There's no point. Somebody, and plus security, it's going to be all over that shit. No, it's, you seriously think, and I suppose that's the problem, that out of all the detective novels. Again, it's more chances of winning lottery. So I'd rather write what I know, although I do have an idea for a story, and I know I've put it on the back burner, and I do actually think there's interest in that story. And how am I going to develop it? Well, I'm going to have to develop it after I finish this story. I can't stop halfway through. The audience. I have an audience for the story I'm working on, and as I said before, it takes months to develop a story, lay it out. If I don't, I've got to finish the one I'm on, then lay out the new story and do the first chapter and build it up. Probably easy 22 chapters. So that's over a year of work, of writing. So and it depends. It depends where I'm at and what I got on hand. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't think I got any new artwork this week, unfortunately. And of course, I'm not getting much interest in the artwork, and I don't know. I think the artist does a fantastic job, and in the past people have mentioned it, but is it just because, I suppose, no need to mention it multiple times. Yeah, it's just. See, what was the last one I got? Is that the last one I got? That's last month, I think. Yeah, last month, this month. This month. Yes, this month. Haven't caught up with it yet. So here we have screen share. This one's actually been up for a while. I recently got. This is slightly updated with the shading. Good job. Good job. Much finer detail than the previous version. Uh, and here are the twins, Mako and Miko. They'll be featured soon, probably a couple of months. I'm still collecting more artwork for that. This is, again, these are cherry flowers, pink hair, as you can see. Slowly and surely bringing the characters to life. Oh, yeah. One more. one or two more will come along soon, hopefully. But I think I'll continue commissioning art for some time. Just see how it goes. Another message or update. Or just a share. Thanks for sharing the link. Be nice if you commented, but share the link. Still, hopefully, not just share the link. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I mean, need the subscribers to raise the without the subscribers, the each year you just get buried by each new person who comes along and only gets 100 subscribers. And then that next person gets 100 subscribers, and well, I haven't reached 100 subs yet, but you know what I mean. If you don't grow, you don't grow. I'm trying to take it as it is, one day at a time. Oh, thanks for the tag, Crystal, but no, I don't want promotion. Sorry. Jeez, Twitch bot. I don't know. What's worse, Twitch bots or digital marketers who... I'm sorry, I don't see it. I don't see the value. Twitch, I could have not seen any evidence. I mean, maybe 20 years ago when there were far less accounts competing for far more viewers than there with Twitch, but these days the only marketing on Twitch or for that matter even Facebook, and it's just people are spending everything they make to advertise 99-cent books. I mean, once you fall into that trap of being a 99-cent book and you are spending your money on advertising on Facebook and Twitch and Twitter, and I don't think you're making money. You're making you're making money to spend money. That's my point. You're making money to spend money, and it's a perpetual trap in which you hope your popularity will grow, but as these platforms die or stagnate, and they say, "Oh, get a TikTok," and it's like, oh, it's just never ending. So, but I've had some, I've noticed this week the interview with Paul. Thank you to all your viewers, but man, I'm pretty proud that the videos taking off, but if I don't know, I'll do this for a while. I'll see how it goes. Can't give up after 10, right? Got to at least complete it and see how it goes. Man, this is so much easier with a live audience. But nobody's come back to me and say, given me a time and said, yeah, this is, I don't know, is this it's a bad time? This is the thing with the analytics. I don't seem to actually have a good time zone where I can pick a better time where I could go, yeah, I'll get the morning audience in America and the afternoon audience in England, and I'd be happy sitting in the middle, but doesn't seem to be working like that. should I do this 12 hours sooner? But I'm looking, or I don't know. Should I move? I put up a poll. Nobody answered it, so somebody's going to suggest a poll. So, cut you off. I tried that. Nobody answered it. And no, I didn't keep the poll up. What's the point? See, I picked this time based on the number of likes on the previous videos and the times when they came in. And I'm not saying I'm not saying that people aren't watching at all. It's just that the viewers aren't live. So I'm not getting questions to answer like I did in the beginning. But, you know, you do you. You know, in the matter of what's it say? Customer is always right in the matter of always right. That's the one. Full phrase is rule number 1, the customer is always right. Rule number 2, the customer is wrong. Please refer to rule number 1. Yes. The customer will always right no matter what in what their needs and tastes are. So in right, you know what products you want, you know what products you need. And for me, I'm finding Grammarly is improving all the time. So is ProWritingAid and others. I got in early with Grammarly, and I suppose it's been a learning curve in the little quirks, and I should have brought this up before. Breaking things down. Sometimes I got to be more patient. Another thing somebody told me is to use read aloud in Microsoft Word, although not everybody has Microsoft Word. And don't rely. And with Microsoft Editor, turn off formality, and I forget the other vocabulary. Just use it for spelling and grammar because it's woke. It tries to get rid of pronouns, outdated speeches. Sometimes it tells you about incorrect verbiage, and it's trying to get you to use active and just so many things bubbling around your head. It's as you get on, it becomes active verbs, passive verbs. Even now, there's just so many things. Like the other day, somebody says, "Trope, is that a new thing?" And I'm going, "What? You don't know what a trope is?" But I know what a trope is. You know, the different fantasy, the tropes, elves, dwarves, giants, orcs. You know, they're themes that define that genre. Like in science fiction, ray guns, spaceships, fantasy, magic, fantasy creatures. Science fantasy, which is what I do, is when you mix the two between and you go the various tropes. They're particular themes that individually are part of a whole set that define that genre. So with science fantasy, again, we're dealing with elves, dwarves, and other fictional races with a mixture of magics and spaceships, technologies, past, present, and future, all colliding into one setting. It is a complexity that sometimes works. Now, from a writing perspective, I don't like breaking down Star Wars because it's a unresolved dystopia. It's a wrecked civilization. It has a shining capital, but its outer rims, its perimeters, even some of its inner worlds are not cities or not shining examples of cities. They're not even towns. They're settlements with dusty roads and very little infrastructure. There's no televisions. There's no radio stations. Yeah, it's a society fallen apart that they have never explored that. That's not what I'm writing about. So I don't really want to get into Star Wars, even though it's not science fiction. It is science fantasy. Although it tends to lead more to the science fiction than it does to the fantasy elements. But still, the fantasy elements being the Force. So today's time, I'll be posting new material on Patreon. The link, I'll be updating all my links on social media. Hopefully, I'll have some. I have new artwork of about 3 more months. We'll see what happens. I hope you're out there, and I hope you're doing better, and I hope you will take on some more commissions. I'm still going to commission art, and I'm not running you down, man. I can't explain why I'm not getting any feedback from anybody. I don't know. I ask. I enjoy your art. I'm going to continue as long as I can to pay for it, and I hope you get better, and I hope you feel better, and get back to, and well, yeah, it's selfish of me to, but I don't want to lose patrons, and I hate to try and find another artist. I mean, some artists I know it's selfish. Yeah, forgive me, man. But anyway, that's where we're at, See where we're at. And it's really weird. Sometimes I've had people ask me questions, I get back to them, and I don't know where they're at. Anyway, you got a question, post it below. I'll get back to you, try to address it. I don't know why would you DM me, and okay, that's fine, I suppose, on social media. But I prefer an open question. But yeah, that's the way it goes. So, thanks, Chris, for the retweets. Thanks, viewers, for stopping by. I hope probably said too much. Probably didn't say enough. So please give a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Yeah, Twitch bot, man. Anyway, you do you. I'm signing out. Thank you all for listening. If you've got anything you want to recover, I want you to know. Yeah, comment below. I'd like to hear back from you, but please, thumbs up. it's the issue of algorithms. If I don't get enough thumbs up, if I don't, they won't recommend me to others. I sort of have an idea now how the algorithms work. So, you're assigned a hex number, which is based on your age, region, and other factors, and that's your hex. They use that hex code that they assign to you to match you up to panel. They generate this panel every 5 minutes, and this panel for your hex code will be different for somebody in a different category, and whatever category you fall to. So the more you watch particular channels, the more if you subscribe to them, if you give them thumbs up, you'll get more recommendations from that channel. If you don't, after a couple of weeks, it won't get recommended to you anymore. And that's even if you're subscribed. This is the just weird reality. The subscriptions alone don't. Well, if you don't subscribe, you're far less likely to get it recommended. Each time you just complete a step, it will be recommended to you more often. So the longer you view, give it a like, give it a thumb. Of course, definitely subscribe, and of course sharing, and of course number 5, commenting. That raises my engagement profile. That puts this video on your recommendation page in your hashtag, in your code category, which is based on your age, your sex, your location. And of course, it's not a short number. It's got like pop culture, all the different topics. You'll see them across the top of your page, what you fall into. And that's how algorithms work. They're very quick. They're very easy to eventually work out. I actually, like I said, I got to high school in chemistry, sciences. I did computer science at university. I should have just stuck to pure programming, but I've actually worked on video games. I know how difficult they are, even for the most basic or simple. Played a lot of role-playing games, and still I'm processing a role-playing game using internal rules and modifications, and to go along to help define my world. So that's how it goes. Because I think it's best way I find to cope with fantasy elements. So thanks for stopping by. Any final comments? Any final words? Anything you want to ask before I go? And of course, have to wait for you to actually hear. You're on depending on what you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, there's a delay. So I'll try to give you as much time as possible. But of course, you're probably listening. Few people have said, I'm sort of listening while I'm at work. You're working on your own stuff, working at home. So thanks anyway for listening, for stopping by, and see you next same time, same channel next week. Bye now.